Very few pieces of music have been able to energize and inspire me as much as Felix Mendelssohn's Fingal's Cave Overture. As a person who struggles with depression and anxiety, there's nothing that smacks the sense into me like the smell of salt air and the feel of duck diving under a nice meaty wave. And there is no song in history, in my opinion, that captures that sensation like Fingal's Cave. Felix Mendelssohn's ability to convey colors and mood and setting through music was the stuff of legend. So if I ever find myself landlocked and feeling a hankering for some swashbuckling, salty inspiration, Felix Mendelssohn's Fingal's Cave Overture is my go-to jam. So for this inaugural season of the Surfing Violinist show, I'm challenging myself to deliver a cover of Mendelssohn's maritime masterpiece with one little twist. I work a full-time job now. I'm a dock guy at Lagoon Pontoons in Panama City Beach, Florida. Come visit us. It's a great job, but the hours don't leave much time for practice and recording perfection. And the violin is a very unforgiving instrument when it comes to tone and intonation. When it's played perfectly, it can sound heavenly or epic. When it's played at an average level, it sounds about like Bob Dylan getting tased. And when it's played poorly, it sounds like a symphony of cats being fed into a wood chipper. Every time I pick up the instrument, I feel daunted. There is no mastering the violin. The instrument is like a refined Italian dictator that demands absolute devotion and 10 hours a day of fealty in order to keep the shrieking cats and tased Dylans at bay. 10 hours a day for me is out of the question. So how do I manage to do any justice to a violin-centric piece with my current time constraints? That's the challenge on this inaugural season of The Surfing Violinist. In order to understand where I'm going with this show, you need to understand where I've been. So consider this first Surfing Violinist challenge a kind of extended Draw My Life series of videos, just without the drawing. I started playing the violin circa 1988. I started in Panama City, Florida with my first music inspiration, Arlene Conrad. Arlene took me on as a student in spite of not usually starting younger students. 20 years later, we were playing in community and regional orchestras together, so I'm forever grateful she took me on. So the crazy thing is, I actually ran into Arlene in the mall today. We were gonna get some Chick-fil-A, and we looked up, and lo and behold, Arlene and Harold were sitting there having Chick-fil-A. So it's pretty random. She is fit as a fiddle. Da-doom. That's just a random cool thing that happened today. In order to understand where I've been musically, I gotta start with Felix Mendelssohn. Felix Mendelssohn was like me in that he was kind of an odd duck. He was a Prussian Jewish Christian who, in spite of racism on the one hand and pressures from his own community on the other, excelled and lived up to his name. Felix means happy, and Mendelssohn was a happy man and joyful musician. A prodigy like no other except maybe Mozart, Mendelssohn was also a gifted composer from the time of his youth. When he was only 20, he visited some islands off of Scotland and fell in love with a cave known for its interesting geological formations. To hear the piece in its entirety, click the link in the description. Trying to do justice to this piece is going to take me a while because I've got to cover all of these parts and make them sound full and good. This is more than a one episode kind of challenge. So this show is going to be a kind of work in progress show. So I had all these plans of getting a full finished episode right out the gate, up to the standards of the editing and production that I'd set with American Indian. It's just not gonna happen. If I'm gonna do this every week, it's got to be more vlog. I'm editing the thing right now, and I'm just hitting roadblocks. I remembered I went through this crisis about a year or so ago when I was, it was 2 years ago, when I was making our 4-year kind of retrospective of our time in India. And I just remember just hitting the wall that I'm hitting right now. Just realized I can't do this. I don't have the time to sit here and get every little audio thing right. I mean, you're hearing wind noise right now, right? Oh, there's a lawnmower over there. You know how Hollywood does it? They have quiet on the set. There's no quiet on the set in real life, you know? I've got kids. Now I'm working a 60-hour-a-week job. Like I said, it's impossible to compete with the media because we've all been conditioned to have these unrealistic expectations of what reality is like. And this is why reality shows are so fake, guys. You can either have fake reality or you can have real reality. Real reality is ugly, it's messy, it's weird. So I'm making a decision today. I cannot do it. I cannot keep up with the other vloggers that have these ridiculously high standards. I'm taking a totally different approach, and it's basically going to be my work in progress journey of trying to become a better musician, the music that's inspiring me, sharing that with you, sharing the music that's inspired me in the past, trying to cover this music, trying to make new music. So that's going to be the goal. I'm also going to be sharing some little random moments from my day. Most of it's going to be music focused, but also, at least initially, just fun little random things that happen. And we've made music at work, like this little random stupid thing.
hey, I mean, that, dumb or not, pencil leg, that happened in the moment, okay? And the sample, the beat there, that came from his feet. Psh. You know, this first challenge, I'm learning about Mendelssohn. I got one of his biography about him, and I was reading some stuff. I just learned that the dude painted. Like, he was a painter, a better painter than I could ever hope to be. I never even knew that about this guy. He's like one of my favorite musicians of all time. And apparently, like, even in this video, I talked about how he was happy, he lived up to his name, but actually, he had some real manic depressive, like, anxiety issues that they didn't know what to do with. You know, that's the dark side of being a Renaissance man or having multiple interests, is that you just you don't know how to control it all, you know? So yeah, this show is going to be a bit messy, especially at the beginning.
Every week I'm going to be issuing musical challenges to you viewers and YouTubers with some of my own original music that you can use in your own creative work or commercial endeavors. Just use it or a portion of it as a soundtrack for your videos. If you love instrumentation or perfecting rhythm or perfecting production quality or tone or mastering, take what I'm sharing here and do with it whatever you want. Make it better, make money off of it, make the music you want to hear. The first piece I'm offering up is a short round of 8-bar phrases written in honor of a dear mentor and friend who passed away this week. To respect his family's privacy, I'm going to keep his name out of this video. He and his wife have played a huge role in our family's life. He always had a smile on his face, and I like to think it was his mission to get a smile on your face every time he talked to you. So here's my first little piece of music, Smilin. So if you liked any part of that, feel free to take it and use it. I hope it puts a smile on your face in some way or another. So I'm trying to think, so I've kind of come up with a new log off. The other one still exists, but in this time when I'm trying to focus on music, the cross-cultural element is going to have to take a back seat. I'm a huge fan of cross-cultural communication, and it's always going to be a part of me. And I do hope to go back to India one day, but I got a lot of work to do before I can do that. Since we are focused on music, I've got a new alliterative sign-off or / mission statement for the channel. Making music and motion pictures with meaning. Get out there and find music that just means something to you. It doesn't just make you move, it means something to you. And let's make the best marriage of music and motion picture that we can make. Because I don't think you need a Hollywood budget to make the motion picture, and I don't think you need a studio in Nashville to make the music. Let's make some beautiful, meaningful motion pictures and music together. Thanks.
Coming in too hot.
Some look to the skies for inspiration, but here on the lagoon,
Perfection.
you look to the pontoon.
Incredible.